Act of 1904 authorized Secretary of the Interior to determine competency of landowners. Now, remember, we were talking about 3/5 compromise, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about $5 Indians, and this is how we become compromised to the 3/5 scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Authorized Secretary of the Interior to determine competency of landowners.
Mm-hmm.
If competent, the land was distributed out of the trust and then taxed. If incompetent, land could be sold without the owner's consent.
Mm.
Okay, now let's read the other side. Go back to the top. The Dawes Act, subsequent legislation decimated native land holdings and failed to spur natives to assimilate into American culture. Its failure is among the many broken U.S. promises that ultimately devastated native culture.
Mm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else it say. Native landholders are now showing you what's called a pie chart. 48 million acres remained by 1934. Native land holdings were reduced by 90 million acres because of the Dawes Act. They keep telling me they stole our land, but every time I look out my window, I swear our shit's still sitting here under our feet.
Got them.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, now that's history chart on the Dawes Roll and related acts. Now look, notice Cherokee, freedmen, enrollment. That word in the middle is important.
Freeman.
Do you know what that means?
No.
Like that means that you are a more of status classified as a free white person in law. You are classified then under the term of freedman in the jurisdiction of the de facto corporation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different people.
Mm-hmm.
See where it say Cherokee?
Mm-hmm.
That name was made up to facilitate what we about to read.
Damn, go ahead.
That's not our original name, but that's the name they gave us in order to commission the 5 civilized tribes.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so now we're going into Muskogee Indian Territory. Okay. From April the 1st, 1902 until May 31st. Now you see this is an ongoing process. It didn't happen in one day.
Yeah.
Because remember, the Dawes Roll started in the 1880s. Now we are 20-something years later, they still working on stealing our shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It's a inclusive for the purpose of hearing rebuttal and supplemental testimony with respect to the enrollment of Cherokee freedmen. That's a double motherfucking negative.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't be a Cherokee freedman.
All right.
Because you have to change your status to a freedman as an indenture in order to become a free white person in law, meaning that you had to get from under your servitude commission by the people that brought you over here.
Mm-hmm.
Notice is hereby given to all freedmen listed as doubtful claimants that after May 31st, 1902, their case will be considered as completed and will be finally decided by the commission and reported to the Secretary of the Interior for his approval. Native Cherokees, now you see the comma?
Yeah, yeah.
Freedmen, you see the comma?
Yeah, separate.
Right. Or that's okay. This is separate from both of them. Claimants by adoption who have not already appeared can apply for enrollment July 1902. You see the word adoption?
Yeah, right.
What does that mean?
It means that they added it on or drafted it in.
Right. So if it's a claimant by adoption, that means that you claiming that somebody in the tribe adopted you and gave you some kind of birthright.
Yeah, still in our birthrights. Yeah, cool. Go ahead.
Okay, now let's go on to the next one. We just showing them because they say we don't have no receipts, Elder, but they don't want to talk about this shit we're talking about now.
Get these
paying to play Indian. Read this. This is paying to play Indian. Look what it say. Paying to play Indian.
Damn.
The Dawes Rolls and the legacy of $5 Indians. Paying a commission $5 can get an opportunistic so-called white person on the Dawes Roll 125 years ago, which still causes problems for tribes today.
Damn.
It may be fashionable to play Indian now, but it was also trendy 125 years ago when people paid $5 a piece for falsified documents declaring them native on the Dawes Roll. They already know it's fake. It say it right here.
Damn.
Falsified documents, $5 a piece, 125 years ago, declaring them native on the Dawes Roll. Let's go. We're going to get into some more of this shit. These so-called $5 Indians paid government agents under the table in order to reap the benefits that came with having Indian blood. Mainly so-called white men with an appetite for land. $5 Indians paid to register on the Dawes Roll, earning fraudulent enrollment in tribes along with benefits inherited by generations to come.
Damn.
These were opportunistic so-called white men who wanted access to land and food rations, said Gregory Smithers, associate professor of history at Virginia Commonwealth University. These were people who were more than happy to exploit the Dawes Commission and government agents for $5, were willing to turn a blind eye to the graft and corruption. You see that word graft?
Yeah, that's like going in on a little on that, man.
Okay, go on, don't go nowhere. Stop. We're gonna look at that for a minute. Go back.
I'm going back.
Okay, now it's and the government for $5 we're willing to turn a blind eye to the graft and corruption. Who's grafted?
Right? Like who's black, like who's devil.
And if he's the devil, wouldn't that automatically make him corrupt?
Yeah.
Why? How do we know this? What do it say in the book? You are not of my father, you are your father. He was a murderer from the beginning and a liar, and there's no truth in him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's keep going.
Get these niggas right. Somebody in the crowd in the chat put get these niggas right.
The Dawes Commission established in 1894 to enforce the General Allotment Act of 1887, or the Dawes Act, was charged with convincing tribes to cede their land to the United States and divide remaining land into individual allotments. In other words, separate the unity. Look at this carefully, y'all. The Dawes Commission, established in 1893 to enforce the General Allotment Act of 1887, or the Dawes Act, was charged with convincing tribes to cede their land to the United States, which is a corporation, it's a de facto, not a de jure, and divide remaining land into individual allotments. There's only one problem with this, Elder.
Go ahead.
In the Jubilee year, and I think 2022 was a Jubilee year, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the Jubilee year, at the close of the age, I think we're going out of Pisces into Aquarius. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay. So if it's a Jubilee year at the close of an age, and at the closing of the age, everything reverts back to who it belonged to at the beginning of the age.
Mm-hmm.
Under the Jubilee forgiveness of all debt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, it's important that y'all looking at this. The Dawes Commission, established in 1893 to enforce the General Allotment Act of 1887. The word that's operative at this point is enforce. Mm-hmm. What the fuck that mean?
Mm-hmm. Enforce to make your ass. You ain't got no other choice.
Right.
Bow, take it like a man. Take it up to,
Yeah. So was charged, that means that they was given power to convince the tribe by what method though?
By we're gonna kill your ass and you'll take your kid if you don't do what we tell you to do.
Right. So they want us to give our land up and break it up into individual allotments. That's so that they can divide it up and sell it off our property under our feet. Mm-hmm. The commission also required Indians to claim membership in only one tribe and register on the Dawes Roll what the government meant to be a definitive record of individuals with Indian blood. This is going to come back up when we listen to Chief Warhorse in a few minutes.
Hey, can I ask you a question right here?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question? Does this tie in with the I know it's probably gonna come up probably, but does this tie in with the Andrew Jackson Indian?
Because Andrew, exactly, 100%. Andrew Jackson was declaring people chiefs. Can you hold this and go to open up a Google page? I want you to look somebody up.
Hold on, make sure I don't do it. Okay, let's go right here.
Look up Chief White Wolf.
I got him already in your folder. Hold up. I got him in your folder. Yeah, I knew you was gonna probably say something about him, so I got his ass. Somebody say, Rod, get these niggas, man. Talking about this nigga right here, right?
You sure know where that's him.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have like a 10th native blood or some bullshit, but he was declared the chief by a political figurehead. I think it was Andrew Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, who was declaring these motherfuckers chiefs. No, nobody over here ever looked at like that.
John Smith. Now, was this a damn John Smith that was going out to Pocahontas?
It could have been. More than likely it was. Remember, he didn't even come from over here. The guy that was after, that's his show who it is. But in the story of Pocahontas, he came from Europe.
Yeah, he did. He came from Europe. Dog niggas was in Europe.
How the fuck you get to be the chief?
Exactly. That nigga face jacked up, man.
Blow it up so they can see that motherfucker face. They need to see this motherfucker face.
Blow this nigga up. Hold on, blow this nigga up, bro. Boy, he could be had like he's scaly, got a scaly type, reptilian type face. Look at this
man. That motherfucker looked like he got whooped in the face with an ugly stick.
Man, he got beat bad. Why he so damn black with that white straight hair like this?
He ain't black.
What is he, burnt? You know what I'm saying? Shit, burnt.
Look, that's why his nose looked like that from being burned and exposed to the sun, and he can't take it.
Oh yeah,
his nose has got calluses.
Go ahead, you can see it. You can see it. Yeah, go ahead. You can see that he got this. He gets sunburned. Sun taking.
Yeah. So his story, this picture right here, he's supposed to be like 100 and something years old.
Okay. That's another reason too. He 100 or something.
Yeah, but black don't crack.
No, black don't crack like this though. My grandma was 100 and something. She ain't look like this.
Anybody that know people know where that motherfucker come from. All right, let's get back to the post. We got some more Dawes Road reading to do.
Yeah, I like this. I like your post on your page. You got some good shit. All right, let's roll that back, baby. That pull back up, please. Where were we? Hold on, we were right here. All right.
Keep going. That's just a commercial. The Curtis Act, passed in 1898, targeted the 5 civilized tribes. Here's the problem. They call these the 5 civilized tribes, and they changing the names. Right? Specifically Cherokee and Seminole. Seminole should be Gullah or Gullah Getcha. And Cherokee is a whole nother word. I can't even pronounce that shit right now because my mind ain't over there. But the Curtis Act passed in 1898 targeted 5 civilized tribes, forcing them to accept allotments and register on the Dawes roll. Now here's the key thing. It say to accept allotments. What does that mean?
To accept reservations, I think.
Absolutely. See, so they was moving to put $5 Indians on reservations using this system. Okay, say the 2 acts which came, scroll down, during the period of murky social context. See what that say?
Murky social context. These niggas be wording some shit, man.
Right. Now,
not clear. I mean, it's not clear. It's not a clear,
right,
decisive, you know.
All right, now look, this is where the murky social context come in. After the Civil War, when white and so-called black men were intermarrying with Native American women, aimed to help the government keep track of real Indians, while accelerating efforts to assimilate Indian people into so-called white culture. Right? So this is what murkied the waters, the one drop of blood doctrine, the great melting pot. Everybody giving up a drop of blood, and then they all coming together to try to confuse the genetics. All right, let's keep going. We ain't done. By 1865, African Americans and white Americans were moving into the Midwest, into the Indian and Oklahoma territories, all vying for some patch of land that they could call their own and live out their Jeffersonian view of independence. All right. Scroll down. Let's see what's read some more. He said the federal government poured a lot of effort and energy into the Dawes Commission, but at the same time, it was very hard for both Native and American governments to keep track of who was who. All right. Now, this is important when we get to the Trail of Tears.
Okay.
The Dawes Commission set up tents in Indian territory. They told us that we lived in teepees.
Yeah,
right?
get the hell out of here with that shit. Go ahead.
Look, go back to Google for a minute. We're gonna come back to this page, but we're gonna go to Google and type in Hun's tents. HUN' tents. And then go to images. Okay.
They look like these right here, though. They look like these right here, I know. Kind of like these.
Those modern tents.
Yeah, but they're like the old ones.
Put in ancient in front of it.
Yeah, that's right. Let me do it like that. So there you go, right here. Like this kind. Right here. The richer guys had like a more of a nice one though, but like the kings and shit. But it's the same thing as those.
We didn't live in tents, but I'm gonna show you that in a minute. But first, we're looking at these tents. Now, take out Hun and put in Mongol.
All right. All right, it's the Mongol. Let me say these in my that folder. Damn.
That one you clicked on have a Sri Yantra on the front.
Because I'm putting a book together called Young Ella and the Raw Haynes book. Stuff over. I'm going into more detail on it.
Hey, look, you know what's out cold? Motherfuckers be talking about, I remember a lot of stuff. All this shit come from Baba, Elijah Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali, and the government.
Yeah. This is a good one right here. And the same people was building those igloos, with the ice.
Yeah, but they also got teepees. They also got nomadic tents that they carried around with them that wasn't so big. And those are the ones that they said was our teepees.
And it was only for traveling, right? For these people that traveled when they were traveling, going to battle people.
Right. Because all of the Huns and the Mongols were nomads. They was always on the go. They didn't set up farming camps.
They call it a jir, also called Ura, is a Mongoloid yurk. Is a Mongoloid tent home. Imagine living in a home that looked like a piece of candy, a Hershey's Kiss, but it's 9 feet height, 15 feet round. Actually, a jir might look rather odd, but they were very comfortable. So it's the Mongoloid. Let me blow it up.
So they can fold their house up and go leave at any given time. All right, let's get back to the business at hand. We can go back to that later on. We're gonna pull up a TP from over there, in Asian TP.
Okay.
All right, so the Dawes Commission set up tents in Indian territory. Right, this is somebody named Bill Welch, Director Emeritus of the Oklahoma Historical Society Office of American Indian Culture and Preservation.
Dang, hold up. I don't want it to freeze up while we're doing it. Hold up. There you go. My bad. There you go.
Okay. It's a their field clerks scoured written records. Scroll down. Took oral testimony. Remember, we do everything orally anyway.
Yeah.
And generated enrollment cards for individuals determined to have Indian blood. Now, remember, they didn't have blood tests back then.
Yeah.
How the fuck they know who got Indian blood?
Right. Right.
You gotta keep that in mind because they make it sound like they could just run a blood test like they can now, pull your DNA and say, oh, you Chickasaw, you Choctaw, you Cherokee, you Ojibwe, right? They couldn't do that back then. So look what they're doing. They took oral testimony